What if I told you that thousands of people are living off grid right now? They're producing their own power, collecting their own water, growing some of their own food, and doing it without being electricians, farmers, plumbers, survival experts. And one of the biggest myths about off grid living is that you need years of experience before you can even think about trying it. And the truth is, almost everyone who successfully lives off grid started exactly the same way, with little to no experience and a willingness to learn. The difference between the people who make it work and the people who quit is not knowledge, it's preparation, realistic expectations, and understanding what life off the grid actually looks like before making that leap. And if you're thinking about living off grid but feel overwhelmed because you don't know where to start, this is what you need to know. Okay, so we're just going to start this off. First, understand that off grid living is not a permanent camping trip. Many people imagine roughing it in the wilderness, chopping wood all day, and surviving on whatever they can grow. Modern off grid living is very different. Thanks to solar technology, battery storage, internet access, efficient appliances, and better building techniques, living off grid can be surprisingly comfortable. The goal isn't to make life harder, and the goal is to become less dependent on public utilities and gain more control over your lifestyle. The biggest mistake beginners make is trying to do everything at once. They buy the land, build a cabin, install solar, start a garden, raise animals, and attempt to learn 10 new skills simultaneously. And that usually leads to frustration and burnout. Instead, focus on one system at a time. Learn power first, then water, then food production, then additional projects. Off grid living is a journey, not a race. And when it comes to power, solar energy is usually the starting point for most people. The good news is that you don't need an engineering degree to understand the basics. Solar panels collect energy from the sunlight, batteries store that energy, and an inverter converts that stored power into electricity your appliances can use. That's the simple version. Beginners often overestimate how much electricity they need and start by calculating your actual usage. Many people discover they can reduce their power consumption significantly by switching to energy efficient appliances, LED lighting, and being mindful of unnecessary energy use. Water's another area that scares people unnecessarily, too. Depending on where you live, water may come from a well, rainwater collection system, natural spring, or a water delivery system. Each option has advantages and challenges. A private well is often considered the gold standard, because it provides a consistent water source, but it requires maintenance and equipment. Rainwater collection can work extremely well in certain climates. Regardless of the source, though, water filtration should always be a priority. Clean water is one of the most important foundations of any successful off grid setup. Then there's the question everyone asks, what about the food? And here's the reality: most experienced off grid homesteaders do not grow 100% of their food. They still visit the grocery store, they still purchase supplies, they still simply supplement their food supply through gardening, fruit trees, livestock, hunting, fishing, or food preservations. If you're new to gardening, start small. A few raised beds will teach you more in one growing season than dozens of books and videos. Learn what grows well in your climate before, trying to create a self-sustaining farm. Shelter is another critical decision many beginners dream about: building a cabin from scratch with no experience. And that's certainly possible, and it may not be the smartest first step, but purchasing an existing structure using a manufactured home, converting a shed, or starting with a small cabin kit can dramatically reduce the complexity of your transition. Remember, though, the goal is creating a functional lifestyle, not winning an award for building everything yourself. Financially, off grid living often surprises people. Some expect it to be incredibly cheap, others assume it's impossibly expensive. And the truth is, somewhere in the middle, you may eliminate your utility bills, but you'll still have expenses. Solar equipment, batteries, maintenance, tools, fuel, repairs, insurance, taxes, and food, they all cost money. The key is understanding that off grid living shifts expenses rather than eliminating them entirely. Instead of paying utility companies every month, you're investing in systems that you own and maintain. And one skill that comes extremely valuable is problem solving. When you're connected to city services and something breaks, you call someone. When you're off grid, you often become the first responder to your own problems. And that doesn't mean you need to know how to fix everything immediately. It means developing the confidence to learn. You'll watch tutorials, read the manuals, ask the questions, and gradually build skills over time. And every challenges becomes a learning opportunity. Another important reality is that convenience changes. Living off grid often requires more planning. You'll monitor your battery levels. You'll pay attention to the weather forecast. You'll maintain equipment. You'll think about water usage differently. And some people view these responsibilities as burdens. Others find them empowering because they become more connected to the systems that support their daily lives. Internet access is another concern many people have. The good news is that modern options have dramatically improved. High speed satellite internet and wireless solutions now make it possible for many off grid residents to work remotely, stream content, run businesses, and stay connected. Off grid living no longer means disappearing from the modern world unless that's what you want. And one of the biggest mental adjustments involves the expectation. Social media often shows perfect cabins, beautiful sunsets, and thriving gardens. What you don't always see are the repairs, the failures, the mistakes, and the setbacks. Every successful off grid homesteader has stories about projects that didn't work, equipment failures, unexpected costs, and lessons learned the hard way. Failure is not a sign that you're bad at off grid living. It's part of the learning process. Community is also more important than many beginners all realize too. Even people living independently benefit from relationships with the neighbors, local tradespeople, farmers, and other off grid residents. Having people you can learn from can save you countless hours, mistakes, and expenses, really. Off grid living doesn't have to mean isolation. In fact, strong communities often make the lifestyle much easier. And if you're serious about making the transition, start practicing before you move. Reduce your power usage. Grow a small garden. Learn the basic maintenance skills. Spend weekends camping and staying in a small cabin. Test your ability to live fewer conveniences. These experiences will reveal what you enjoy and what challenges you face and what skills you need to develop before committing fully. The truth about living off grid with no experience is that experience is not the requirement most people think it is. Nobody starts as an expert. Experience is something you gain by doing. And the people successfully living off grid today were once beginners starting at the same questions and uncertainties you're facing right now. What separates them from everyone else is that they looked first steps, they accepted the mistakes would happen, and kept learning along the way. Off grid living is not about perfection, it's about self reliance, the adaptability, and building a lifestyle that aligns with your goals. Start small, learn continuously, focus on practical systems, and remember that every expert was once a complete beginner. The biggest obstacle to living off grid isn't a lack of experience, it's believing that you need experience before you even start. Thanks for watching today's video. If you found value in today's video, please subscribe. I'd appreciate that. That's what we're doing on this channel, looking to build our subscription base. And without you, we can't do that. We try to produce a video almost every day, sometimes 5, 6 days a week. I've been sick here recently, so I missed about a week. But I'm back. And I'd love to see you on the team. Have a good day today, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow.